what we're going to do now is we're going to roll through, and then we're going to, so anyone can say out, but what I'm looking for is 2 outs to out a picture. So if only one person says out, it stays in. Is everybody clear on that?
Out.
Out.
Okay, good.
Out.
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 Good. So we got multiple outs for this one, right?
Yep.
Sorry, is there a delay? Because it seems like it's not.
Yeah.
Probably is. Probably
Like
is.
I don't have enough time. You're moving. I don't know.
Oh, are you not seeing the picture?
I can see it, but it's like before I have a chance to say anything, it moves.
I see. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if there's a delay on my end.
It might be. It's probably latency.
Yeah, it looks there's a delay on mine too. So maybe if we can take a couple seconds.
Just a
Yes.
second, yeah.
I will do that. Sorry about that, guys.
No
Is this one
worries.
in? Let's do it in. Dang iPhones. Man.
Out.
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 Oh, was I going too fast?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Out.
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 Out. Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out. Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Out.
Okay, so we're back to the beginning, and let's just see how we're doing. So we have, let's see here. There's something I have to click here. Hide non-placing entries. Yeah. So we have 26. We've cut it down in half, basically. So at this point, what I want to do is remind you what sports action is. It's the peak moment of action. It's absolutely the peak moment. So it's not the reaction. It's like peak moment of action. It's supposed to be the essence of sport. So now only one out will get something out. Now here's how this works. If someone says out and you feel strongly about it, you can argue it back in, okay, in this round. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go.
Out.
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 One other thing I'll mention too, like this could be a pictorial almost, but we can't move a picture. So if it's not in the right category, we gotta disqualify it or just not select it.
Out.
Patrick, are there any other disqualifying characteristics that we should keep in mind while we do this, or are we just going like solely on picture merit at this point?
Yeah, pretty much picture merit, and then we could split hairs later. Like like later on, we can talk about other nuances like quality or if it's in focus and things like that. But right now, we're just looking for peak action.
Okay.
Is it staying in?
Out.
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 Sorry, this is an out.
Out. Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 outs. Good. That's 3.
Out.
Out. Out.
Out.
Out.
Beautiful picture, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Out.
All right. I'm sorry, I lost. I think it was this one.
Yeah. Out.
Oh.
Out.
Mm-hmm.
Out.
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 Okay, so now let's see how we're doing. Refresh this here. Okay, we're down to 8, which is great. So good job. So let's just look at these as a contact sheet really quick and think about the peak moment of action. Does anybody want to out anything from here? And by the way, we can award first, second, third place, honorable mention. So those are all. So we have 4 slots. If you don't have to award honorable mention, but you're able to. So you got to get rid of 4 pictures here if you want to do 1, 2, 3 HM.
I would probably rule out the this second one on the bottom, second from the left on the bottom. That one, it just like it just feels like a normal pass. It doesn't feel like the kind of peak moment in the way that a bunch of the other ones feel. It feels like, you know, a play in the game, but like if I'm thinking of like the defining photo of a match,
okay,
not yet.
Anybody else concur? Does anybody really love this and want to keep it in? Was that a second out, right?
Yes, that was a second out.
Okay.
I don't love it, but I really like it.
Yeah,
I know exactly. It is cool.
It's that kind of pictorial category that we were talking about before, much better than the kind of peak action that this category is asking about.
Right.
I would like to out the rings, gymnastic rings.
Okay, gotcha.
I feel like that's a nice pictorial, but I'm not sure how I feel about the action. Not that one. Sorry,
here.
the rings, not the bars.
Oh, I'm sorry. The rings.
Top right, yeah. Anyone agree? It seems like a nice, nice lines, but it's not necessarily peak action, and his face gets a little lost.
Yeah, I'm fine with losing it.
Yeah, same.
So let's see how we're doing here. So we're down to 6.
So I really like that diver picture, but also it's really tight. Like it doesn't get a lot of breathing room.
No.
But like otherwise, like it is a nice moment. Like there's good light, there's a good moment, and there's good composition. But I wish that it had more breathing room on the right side, because otherwise I think that would be one of my top picks.
I agree. I feel like it's worthy of honorable mention, just because I think that, like, the effort was there to put it in context and everything, but like it wasn't like it's. I don't think it merits a top 3, but I think it does merit an honorable mention because it is smart in a way that a lot of the peak have been.
Okay, do you guys want to award this an honorable mention? That's been put forward. Do you want to do that?
Can we look at the others again first?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how many do we have?
There's 6 here.
How do you guys feel about the football one? I just feel like it gets a little messy in the background there.
I think the finger, like the finger on the goal line, I think is just like, if we're talking about peak action, I feel like that's it. Like the precise moment of a touchdown. Like I feel like, given the criteria we have, I think it makes a lot of sense to award it something.
Yeah. I think at a minimum it gets an honorable mention. Because like I've seen so many pictures, so many other pictures like from that game of that play. So like on one hand, like you wish that you could get Lamar's face, but at the same time, Cam, like what you said about like it's like those last couple of fingers, like that's what ties it all together. So I still really like this picture a lot.
Okay. We're kind of stuck at 6 here, so.
Mm-hmm.
The bullfighting one, I think it's a good moment, but I feel like it's also tight. and I'm not sure. I don't follow the bullfighting, so I'm not sure how like pivotal this moment is. But it doesn't do much for me because it's so tight.
Mm-hmm. Though I feel like if you go any looser, you lose some of that detail. Like you like, because there's such an emphasis on like all of the blood going on, I feel like you lose that if you're any looser, which is why I voted to keep it in. But I think in terms of like high impact and peak action, I think Julio kind of makes a solid point. Like, I don't know what peak action in a bullfight looks like. Is it when the bull's dead? Is it, but I don't know. So.
I just want to go on a Wikipedia rabbit hole about bullfighting. Because I don't know enough about sport.
I've never shot it either. I've shot a lot of sports, but never that. Well, let's go through these singles again, just to kind of refresh ourselves. Does anybody see a first place? Got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I like the kid, but is his face in focus? Where's the focus on that?
Yeah, I can't tell what's sharp.
But I think it has a lot of elements, and it's.
If you're asking me, I'm saying focus is right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see it on my screen probably better than you guys can because it's not 1080p, but so this is back focused a little bit. The other thing, is it peak action or is it like right after peak action? It does appear the kid's getting stomped on by, whatever he was chasing.
The hat in the air makes it peak action, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, fair point. Does anybody see an HM? Like, do you want to award HM to something? We talked about this one as being honorable mention in the past, but I think it was just 2 people, and there's 5 of you.
Just for conversation wise, the soccer one, I feel like there was better peak action soccer with the very first one we saw.
I agree. Yeah.
And this one, I mean, I follow soccer a lot, and when people dive like this, they're it's not always like real, like they're
it's acting. Trying to get the card.
So that's why I'm not, like that's the thing I hate about soccer, is that there's so much acting, and so this one doesn't do anything for me. But I like the fingers on the ground and the ball that's in there. But maybe if there's a little bit more of the other competitors component, and it might do a little bit more for me.
I agree.
Okay. And so is this an out then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And compared to the American football fingers, it doesn't match up at all.
Yeah.
No.
Gotcha. So let's do. Okay, so we only have to get rid of one picture, and then you got to award places.
I mean, I'm tempted to say gymnastics because, I mean, it's very, very nice, but it seems like a nice feature. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it to be so unique. I don't know what you guys think.
I like the tension of like her being in the air and kind of bent literally like a C, but it's like it lacks kind of the emotion that the 2 kind of, or the 2 or 3 kind of tighter pictures have.
Mm-hmm.
So however much value judgment people want to add is up to them, but
that sounds like 2 outs to me.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody love this picture and want to keep it in?
I don't love it. I like it because of the body language and also because of how clean it is. And it's so hard to get a clean photo in gymnastics. Mm-hmm. So I do like it for that reason. But I also think, it borderlines on pictorial or feature.
Mm-hmm.
So does it hold up to these other four? Is the question, I guess.
I'm inclined to take it out.
I'm fine with taking it out. I like it a lot, but then and we'll see this a lot more, especially with like the Olympic stuff, that like that's an expected picture that you're supposed to bring back.
Right.
But it is still like it's very clean. It's very on point. I liked it a lot. But
it was a nice frame.
I did too.
That's tough.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, honorable mention. What are we doing? You guys are doing great, by the way. It's hard, isn't it?
It is.
I'm fine with giving first place to Lamar Jackson tumbling into the end zone.
I agree.
Yeah, I like the fact that, so like I had mentioned before, I've seen other pictures like of this play. I actually do like the fact that we get the teammates and the opposition in the background. We have the crowd where like you can kind of tell that they're all cheering. So it's peak on so many different ways.
Yeah.
And those fingertips, like that really is like what ties the whole thing together, is that his fingers are almost as upright as they can possibly go in that sequence. It doesn't get more peak than that.
Any other comments? Okay, that's 2. Do we have a third person that wants to go for first? I'll just say this because we're kind of in an impasse. The gold standard at Sports Illustrated was when we could get the peak action moment and the reaction. And we have reaction from fans, we have the reaction from offense, defense, the special teams, everybody's looking, and then we've got the goal line, the fingertips, the ball. I wish he was like facing us, but it's hard to get better than this. But if somebody wants to argue that, jump right in. Come on, you guys have stalled out here. We got 2 votes for first. Does anybody think that's wrong? And if so, what would you like to see in first?
I'm not in love with it because I think it's to me it's a little cluttered, either with the depth of field, but also just lines kind of coming into each other. It's hard to read initially, but I understand it, and I also don't know what the other option would be, so I'd be okay with it being first. But it is kind of there's a few elements that kind of bug me about it.
Okay.
But as a photograph, but I know people love football. I don't know. The face, but also, some of the background isn't quite as clean and perfect, but that's in an ideal world. Okay. I don't have a huge objection. I don't know what you guys feel about the other photos. Maybe we can go to start by the end. Start at the honorable mention.
I guess I'm hearing like 2.5 people for first for this one. So I don't know. We got to move on this, though. We got a lot to do.
Can we go what the last place would be first?
Okay.
Honorable mention. Does that help at all?
Does anybody want to say, what do you think honorable mention should be?
Well, I heard a vote for that diver as an honorable mention earlier, and I agree with it. And in looking at these 4 photos, I would agree that that's probably the one that needs a little bit more. So that would be, I would agree with the honorable.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 3. So we have an honorable mention. Awesome. So now we have just 3 pictures to choose from, these 3. So football, the mutton, and the bullfighter, the matador.
I would be inclined to give the bullfighter second, just because there's more really visible emotion. You can see the knife blade, like you can see there's all this like texture in it. There's, you know, bloodied and non-bloodied fur. There's his jacket, there's his hair, like all of these things, even though it's tight, like Julio said, I think it all comes together pretty nicely for me. And I think kind of his emotion is the linchpin in a similar way that, like Tim said, with Lamar Jackson's fingers, I think it ties it together really well. And while the other, I guess it's a rodeo picture, has like a really great peak moment, and the hat in the air is a really nice touch. As Julio said, it lacks kind of this, it lacks the emotion that that the bullfighting one has. And so that's my 2 cents.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Are you guys
really
able
like
to
his
see all
face.
these flies? There's
Oh, I
flies
did not see the
everywhere.
Oh, they're flies.
That's
Oh.
not dirt. It's actually flies. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I like how sharp this is and how there's so much emotion, but it's still it seems very skilled and very purposeful what's going on.
Okay, so is
And
this second
clean.
place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Good job. Good job, guys. All right, so now we are down to, let me refresh this. So basically we're down to 2 pictures, and just which
1,
one of
2,
these
3.
is,
Should we do that second? Oh, sorry, third.
so 1 and 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
We're done.
All right.
All right.
Good job.
Woohoo.
That's awesome.
But really everyone is a winner because they entered.
AYSO
Of course.
Soccer. Couldn't have sounded better.